we are?
Yeah.
I still show a countdown.
No. It's like go time. You best get your game face on. You can't be sitting around taking a 5-minute break now. Break time's over. Chop,
goodness.
chop. Back to work. Hey, everyone. I'm Aaron.
Jody,
And we are...
Team Tunnel Realty. Thanks for joining us.
That's right. So it's about our once a month here broadcast, talking about everything going on in the real estate world,
Yeah.
and what the latest thing is, and obviously the topic of the night. And tonight's pretty interesting. It's gonna be top mistakes that sellers make.
Yes.
Yeah, and then it's real easy. You can fix them. Doesn't take much to it, but it will make or
No.
break when it comes time to selling your home and getting the top dollar that you want for it. So
That's right.
It'll be very interesting and a very important podcast or broadcast here for you to watch.
That's right.
So also, in case you don't know, so Jody's been in real estate for over, what is that, 15 years now?
Yeah, 2010.
Yeah, it's 15.
Yeah, it's
Ooh.
January 2010 I got started.
Ooh, man. So, and me, I kind of got started during the whole COVID fiasco because I was like, well, we're all stuck at home. What are we going to do? Well,
Yeah, what else are you going to do?
what else am I going to do? I'll learn to get my real estate license.
Study.
Yeah, help you
did
out.
That in crypto.
So, yeah, I did. I was going to try to be a crypto day trader. That didn't work out for me very well. So, that's all right. We'll put that on the back burner. But real estate, we're going to talk about what's going on here in the interest rates, and then we'll get down to our topic of the day. So, thanks for joining us. And I know you always like to do this.
Oh, I know. Did we catch the
I
sunset?
don't know if we caught it in time. Barely. Oh, we just missed it. It was so nice earlier. It was just lit up with just bright orange color.
Right.
So we get some really
I
cool
don't think I see it at all.
cool sunsets around here. You
Oh,
don't
there it
see
is. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah.
Look, you gotta slow down. There's like a little 5-second delay over there, Sparky. Your computer needs to catch up. Okay,
goodness.
so let's talk about the numbers. All right.
Yes.
Okay, so 30-year fixed.
Yeah.
Some good news. A little bit.
It's been on a downward trend, I think, for the last six weeks, I think.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
memory serves
Yeah,
me
actually,
correctly.
I think the last time we went live, it was right around 7. I think it just teetered under after being over, and then I think it might have gone over, but then when it went back under,
Yeah.
it's been under ever since.
Yeah, it's good.
So that's good. So interest rates are continuing to slowly soften. All right, so
Yes.
it's not huge, it's not dramatic.
No, but
we
that's
told you,
good.
I think 2 years ago, get used to the 6s.
Yes.
If everything aligned just right, we would be at this time of the year in the spring of 2025 in the upper 5s. You can see that didn't happen.
No.
And that was some of the most positive, forecasts that we could find, and that was the best they could come up with. Whereas the rest of them are like, just get used to the 6s. So
Yeah.
obviously here we are still in the 6s.
At least for this year and next year.
Yeah, they're not really expecting much change either in that regard.
No.
So as far as the Oklahoma City market goes, this is the greater Oklahoma City metro area. So it goes up to Guthrie, goes down to Norman, out west like Yukon, and out toward Choctaw, etc. So the numbers on here, pretty good. It's the indication the season's starting to get going.
Gosh. I'm supposed to read those?
Oh yeah, you can't read that?
Whoa.
Here, let me zoom in for you. I don't think anybody can read that. There we go.
Oh, my
I
word.
made it bigger for you. Okay. See,
Okay.
I know. Let me
Yeah, so for Oklahoma County, and this
me-
is only for the last 7 days.
Let me shrink that down a little bit and move this over. I know it's hard to see.
Right.
There we go. Well, they changed the whole outlook, the whole layout on me, so I'm having to adjust on the fly.
Right,
Okay, so new
okay.
listings, just about 500.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's really good, actually.
Look at pending.
Whoa, 510.
Yeah.
Woohoo! And sold.
Yeah.
338. That's actually really good.
Yep, but-
those are great numbers.
Look at that number right here, price decrease.
Yeah, still
Yeah.
451.
So I think what that typically tells you is people got really excited. The early birds, thinking they catch the worm, put that price up there a little high, and the realtor goes, you know what? It's early in the season. We're just getting started. Why not go for it?
Right.
And then they go, oh, it's not really moving, so let's drop it down a little bit. And
Right.
so that's kind of what happens in that regard. And we're actually part of tonight's topic is about that. So let's
Yeah, it's in there for sure.
so let's go ahead and get moving on that real quick.
Okay.
It is the best time to start selling. So we are getting into that window.
Yeah, late spring, early summer, particularly June and July are really good months.
Yeah, and actually, now here in middle March, that's when people
Right.
really start to list. 'Cause
That's right.
You're getting the listing fever. Like today, you got out there and you started working in the yard.
Oh, yeah.
So you're already getting the bug, right? It's finally warm enough to where you can get out there and get some great weather. Oh, today was
Yes.
gorgeous.
Today was beautiful.
So it's a strong time to list, based off of buyer demand and market conditions in general.
Yeah.
Because it does take a while to kind of get everything moving.
That's right.
And it's at an early spring start because people,
Mm-hmm.
they want to get a taste. What's out there? How's the market going?
Yeah.
They don't want to sit on it too long. Maybe they want to be out, by the end of May, right? And so they want to make sure they give themselves plenty of
Right.
time.
Well, that's why they say late spring, early summer, like particularly June and July, because for the families that have kids in school, they want to be settled. They want to wait till the kids are out of school, and then they want to be settled for August, September when school starts again.
Yeah, and that's just like a general rule of thumb in real
Yeah.
estate, and that just happens, of course, applies even to Oklahoma City market.
Right.
But really, if you want to sell it fast, for whatever reason,
April,
April. Isn't that crazy?
yeah.
And which is funny. I would think it would be the summer because that's when you have the most volume and traffic. But
Yeah.
maybe you just have so much competition that people
Well,
want to look
that's
at
right.
more.
homes on market
Right.
because exactly what I said earlier as to why people are selling
Now,
more in June and July.
When we say fast, don't get crazy because we're talking still about on average of 54 days.
Right.
So that's technically
Yeah.
fast in real estate.
And some stats I was looking at are teetering around 35, 37.
That's good.
So I guess it just depends maybe on the market.
Yeah, probably in the price bracket too that you're in
So,
as well.
That's right.
Because usually, higher price homes usually will sit a little longer
Right.
because obviously your clientele base that you're trying to reach is a little bit more
Oh, yeah.
sparse on that deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
But obviously, warmer temperatures makes a big difference.
Yes.
And as you mentioned earlier, the school year.
School year. That's right.
So, and then about the market stability for Oklahoma, how's it going?
Well, right now it's remaining really steady. And they expect it to stay steady all year round. So no dramatic seasonal fluctuations. So personal circumstances and readiness should guide your decision, obviously.
Yeah.
Whatever your home situation is, whether
Right.
you're moving because of work, divorce, death, what have you.
Yeah.
Becoming empty nesters. Mm-hmm. So
There's always a change.
that's right.
By the way, Eleanor, yes, she agrees. It was a beautiful sunset tonight.
Oh, it was.
So if you have any
Yes.
questions, by the way, and you're watching tonight, just go ahead and put them in the chat, and then we'll throw them at you. And
Oh, Eleanor, did
See
you
what
get
we do.
any pictures? If you did, post them.
I know, right? Can you post pictures on the live? I don't think you can.
No, I don't
Oh,
think
that's
so.
too bad. Okay.
But she can tag us.
All right. Okay, so let's get on with tonight's topic, and that is
Okay.
the mistakes, the top mistakes.
Right, the top mistakes that home sellers make and how to avoid them.
Okay.
So, overpricing.
That's the number one. Isn't it?
That's the number one. And why? Because, many sellers think their home is worth more than really what it is, which leads to overpricing.
Yeah.
So what happens with an overpriced home? It's going to sit on market a lot longer. And it makes potential home buyers out there think that there's something wrong with it.
Sure. If you see a house that's sitting there for, say 90 days.
Yeah.
And you're like, and these other houses sold in 40 or like 50, and you're going,
Right.
what's wrong with that one?
That's right.
That's your first question. What's wrong with that one? Well,
Yeah.
there may not be nothing wrong with it. It may just
Well,
be too much.
That's right. And then when you start seeing price reductions, it just makes it look like the home sellers are desperate
Yeah, it depends.
to a home buyer's eyes.
Right. It depends on how many of those reductions you have to do. I mean, if you've
That's right.
really outpriced yourself and you're trying to play catch up, and you're having to do some dramatic slashes,
Yeah.
then that tells a weird story that the buyer's really not sure about. And so what happens? Realtors ring. What's going on? What's the
Right.
deal?
Oh, for sure.
And so realtors have to communicate back and forth of what the real reason is
Yeah.
to help calm down, the buyer that's interested and go, there's nothing wrong. It's just, blah, 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 or whatever. Because we're trying to facilitate. The realtors everybody's on the same team. Everybody wants to facilitate this transaction so that everybody's happy and they all
That's
get
right.
their dream home and everybody gets the chance to go move and to go somewhere else. So it's in the best of everybody's interest to get it moving.
That's right. And so how do we avoid that?
Yeah.
I know for me, market analysis, so a current market analysis of all the homes in the area that relatively match what your current home looks like. So we're going to take bedrooms into account, the area it's in, the square footage, garage, no garage, all that. And
And
then we compare it.
another key component of that is appraisals. So
Right.
the bank, no matter what you and your realtor may have come up with, maybe you go in cahoots
Yeah.
and you're like, you convince your realtor, let's throw an extra 20% on that cost. I bet you we can get away with it. And your realtor goes, I don't care. Let's do it. More commission for me, baby. And then the bank comes in there with the appraisal goes, what are you two smoking? You're not getting anywhere close to that. You can't get at the house for
Oh,
that.
my goodness.
So there's a sanity reality check that comes in on the back
Right.
end of all this, and that's the banks. There's no way in the world they're going to overpay on
That's
a loan, to cover a loan for that house. So
Oh, of course. So appraisals are number one.
Yeah.
I mean, along with, don't judge your house by what the neighbor's house sold for 6 months ago.
yeah, the time
Markets
frame.
change. The time
Right.
frame is also another variable.
Now, if it just sold in the last few weeks, yeah, that's a great market. That's a great
Yes.
metric, I should say.
Sure.
All right, number 2.
Okay, so you're not prepping your home properly.
Oh boy.
Why is that a problem? Well,
Prep properly.
so buyers judge your home within seconds from the driving up to the property to when they first open that door and start walking in.
Listen, I mean, I see a lot of
Seconds.
homes, and yeah, I'm up the curb. If I pull up to the
Yes.
curb and it looks trash,
Yeah.
do you think I'm going to go in? No way. You're
No,
crazy.
no.
Because I judge a book by its cover.
Sometimes the outside is an
Yeah.
indication of what the inside.
That's right. And that's the book cover. And
Right.
if you can't put in any effort to get your book cover at least half decent, I'm thinking that the inside's trash.
That's right.
And it may not be. The inside may be great.
Yeah.
But guess what? You've already cut me out of the whole equation because I went off the outward appearance. I
Right.
know we always say that in humans, you're not supposed to do that. In homes, it isn't a human. So it's a whole different animal in that one.
That's
so,
right.
yeah, get the curb appeal going.
That's right. And get rid of any kind of bad smells, any pet smells, mildew, musty. Open up the windows, burn a nice scented candle. Do not use those plugins.
Yeah, because some people might have allergies with that. It might be a little overpowering.
Right, and then it might be like a home buyer walks in. Well, what are you masking?
Yeah.
Right,
What are you trying to
so
cover?
that's right.
And less is more. Less clutter.
Yeah. So how do you avoid that? Declutter.
Mm-hmm.
Declutter and depersonalize. Take down your personal photos. Anything on top of a fridge or like on magnets that hold pictures. Get rid of all that. Deep clean. Get a carpet cleaner. Clean those carpets.
Yeah.
Kitchens. Neutralize all the smells. Like have those little things that you can buy.
And
store.
this is the frustrating part. Ask your realtor. So when your realtor walks in, just say, "Hey, be honest with me. Do you smell anything?" Because you're gonna be you're gonna be desensitized to it. You're gonna be so
Well,
used to your own odor, you'll never
right.
know. I don't know. It's weird. I mean, everybody goes into somebody else's house and is like, "Oh, you can smell that odor," but I guarantee the person who lives there does not smell it. So if it's good or bad, I don't know, but you need to find out. Get somebody else's opinion. Go, hey, when you walk in, are you getting a good fresh air, or are you getting something a little rank?
Well, I know I've often asked home sellers
Mm-hmm.
when I've walked into their home. Because if I'm trying to sell this house, I need to know everything about it,
Sure.
including a smell that I might be encountering.
Right. You have to get gingerly. What's that smell? Stinks in here. Yeah, you don't want to do that, but yeah, you do want to make sure that it smells good and looks
But
good.
like this time of year right now, I've got the window open.
I know,
The
fresh air.
windows, it's great.
Yeah, I know.
Until tomorrow, when it's going to be windy.
Yeah, totally. For when's open tomorrow, you get a bunch of dust in here. Okay,
right.
let's go number 3. Refusing to make necessary repairs.
Right.
Keyword there: refusing.
Right. So unfixed issues, like a roof, HVAC problems, plumbing issues. I mean, if they're not addressed, they're going to show up in the inspection.
Right.
So take care of them now.
And that's the other thing is, remember, if you don't do it, you're now putting that burden on the buyer,
Right.
who doesn't have maybe any clue as to how much something costs,
Right.
and may be thinking the worst. And as soon as they start thinking that your home is not worth the trouble, because now they're going to have to shell out X number of thousands of dollars to fix your problem
Wow.
before they buy it, that they
That's
might
right.
scare them off, and then they'll just go look where there's not somebody they have to deal with on that.
Right.
So,
Well, I mean, like the big ticket items, right? But even all those little small items, they all add up.
yeah.
They all add up. So
And going back
let's
to
do it.
lenders and appraisals,
Yeah,
they're gonna look at
do
that
it.
stuff. They're gonna make sure that the home doesn't, have a lot of repairs that are needed, because otherwise they can't,
Exactly.
can't put that loan out there for that amount.
That's right. So how to avoid it? Get a pre-listing inspection.
Yeah,
I think that's a great idea.
simple stuff: leaky faucets, fresh coat
Yeah,
of paint.
that's right.
broken fixtures, cracked tiles.
Be honest. Disclose anything that you know of.
Oh, you have to. Do not try to hide something. This
No.
is not like a medical appointment with the doctor. You go in there and you don't really want to tell the doctor everything because you're a little embarrassed about your partying back in the 20s and what happened. This isn't one of those deals. You want to say everything to your realtor because by law, you do not want to get into a situation where you can get sued because you didn't think something was important to say.
That's right.
Don't be the judge of what's important or not.
That's right.
You tell it all. The realtor will let you know whether or not it's important. So cough it up. Truth.
Yeah.
All of it. And
All
whether
of
it's
it.
good or bad, and you can work with that. The realtor can work with it. You can work with it. Buyer
right.
can work with it. But it's best to put it out there.
Okay, so number 4.
All right.
Bad listing photos and poor marketing. Well, who would do that?
Who would do that?
Why is that a problem? I think that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Most home buyers start their search online.
Yeah, everything's online these
Everything's
days.
online. You can even do virtual tours online. So,
So make sure you have good lighting.
Yes.
Clean up the rooms. Don't take a photo with a bunch of messy stuff in the background.
that's right. That goes back to decluttering.
Yeah. And then, it's funny is I think low quality photos are almost gone just because the phones nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's right.
they can take professional style photos, and believe it or not, there are people in that type of industry, including ours, that can use the highest iPhone or highest Android on the
Yeah.
pro mode and get some crazy looking photos.
Yeah, that's right.
And you can do a lot of the HDR, color schemes and stuff.
Yeah. I can do a lot on my cell phone.
But here's the problem. I know. But here's the problem. What people are doing, they take what is available and at the limit, and then they start fudging. And all of a sudden, you see some photos online, and then you go inside the house. Is this even the same house?
Oh, that's been like that for years.
I'm looking at
though.
this photo going, this isn't the same house?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I've always said to my home buyers.
Mm-hmm.
What you see online may not be what you're seeing inside the house because,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I've been in this industry for since 2010. What kind of phone did I have back in 2010?
Right.
Not like the phone I have now. So how to avoid the problem? Hire a professional.
Mm-hmm.
Get a professional in there. Use staging techniques and have a strong online presence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so staging, that can be flowers, furniture, better lighting, temporary
Yes.
lighting.
And
The sky's the limit when it comes to staging a home. I mean, if you don't have enough of what you think you need to make it
Right.
look good or nice or livable, matter of fact, let's say you've already moved out, technically. And let's say
Right.
you've only got a few things left, but it looks just strange. Fill it up. You can do rent a space basically and just
Right.
put in a whole furniture set,
That's right.
like a model home. That's what the builders do. And all of a sudden now your home looks great. It's like, whoa, somebody lives here. It's like spotless. Looks great. Well, yeah, it's all rented furniture. It's staged, but
Yeah.
hey, it looks good. It's what your home is going to look like if you move in.
we did a lot of that back home.
And then online presence, you mentioned it earlier, but
Yeah.
it's everywhere. So we should be marketing on all the social media, Zillow, Realtor.com, and MLS, basically anywhere and everywhere you're going to find homes. Just make sure your home shows up there. And the MLS usually takes care of that because everybody pulls from that database.
On your weather page.
So, yeah, on my weather page. Yeah, we've had our clients. Yeah, I put our clients on AT's weather.
That's right.
So we've had some wonderful clients.
Okay, so number 5, being too emotionally attached to your house. Why is that a problem? Because sometimes they take low offers very personally. Emotional attachment can make it hard,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah, don't take an insult. If somebody
Right.
comes in there, let's say you had your house for $200,000. If somebody comes in there and goes, I'll give you $150 for it.
Well,
Is it-
that's a bit drastic.
It's a
but
big
yeah.
drastic, right? But I'm just saying, is that an insult? Possibly, but don't take it that way. Just,
I'd even be upset if someone said that. If they wanted me to write an offer on that. I mean, that's huge. That's
Well,
a huge
yeah.
discount. I'd be like,
right. But I'm trying to get the point of the whole emotional thing.
yes.
Yeah.
I get it.
Okay. All right.
So how do you avoid that?
What's that, emotion? You can't. You're human.
Well, I know. Stay open to feedback,
Yeah.
right? Stay open to it. Focus on your next chapter, where you're going, why you're selling that house. And remember, it's a business transaction. It's not a personal one at that point. As soon as that for sale sign goes out front, it's a business transaction.
That's true. Okay, so that's difficult because the home buying process turns into something that is very personal. You raise
Sure.
your kids in it. You grow up in it. They grow up in it.
Right.
It's your place of comfort. It's your safe space. It's all these things all in one. And you're supposed to flip a switch now and go, it means nothing to me.
Well-
it means a paycheck. It means ability to go and move across the street or move across town or, bless you, or leave the state
Oh,
or
excuse
whatever.
me.
So you have to now completely sever all those emotional attachments and those memories, all for
Right.
the sake of closing the deal. I mean, you can keep those later, but you have to keep them separate for that transaction moment. You can't bring that into that space. They have to be separate.
Right. And that goes back to when we're getting the house ready for sale, to decluttering, depersonalize. So you're already taking away some of that emotional detachment.
And kind of tied into that, though, is it may not be an insult. It may be constructive feedback, criticism. For example, if you get a couple, because a lot of times realtors say, okay, give me some feedback on that. What did your client like or not like? And it doesn't happen all the time, but the good realtors will do it. They'll call back, go, hey, yeah, the client says a little dark.
Right.
There wasn't enough lighting. And you may think, well, there's plenty of lighting. I don't know what they're talking about. And then all of a sudden you get another buyer and they say the same thing.
Right.
All right. So there's where your emotional component comes in, where you're not accepting reality. And you're like, look, if you just had 2 feedbacks and the reason why they walked out is because of lighting, and then you refuse to fix something that simple, that's on you.
Yeah.
So fix the lighting. Don't make a third mistake.
That's right.
All right. What's the next one?
Being inflexible with
Oh,
showings.
inflexible.
Inflexible.
Yeah.
So why is that a problem? We are making it more difficult to show your house, right? Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
limited availability means you're missing out on a potential buyers with offers. You don't know.
And that is very frustrating because in this space, everybody's finicky, everybody's busy,
Right.
things happen, right? Cancellations occur. You have to uproot everything
Sure.
just to go show the home from a 1 to 2 or whatever the block
Whatever
of time
time
is,
is,
1 to
yeah.
1:30, usually like in 30-minute or 15-minute windows,
Right.
right? But in that time frame, all of a sudden now they don't show. And you did all that for nothing.
That's right.
That is part of the deal, and it stinks. I mean, we don't like it. You don't like it. And the buyer's agent doesn't like it. In that case, because they now they have to juggle.
That's right.
So, but we all understand everything. Sometimes these things
Life
happen.
happens.
Yeah, life happens.
Yeah.
But you have to be flexible and roll with the punches, and just know that this isn't a long-term thing.
Yes, exactly.
This is a short-term thing. So yeah, it's going to stink for a little bit. Worst case scenario. Better case scenario, that doesn't happen at all. Everything's well, it's scheduled well, and you get your home sold in the first few showings, and
Yeah.
everything's great.
That's right.
All right. I consider temporarily moving out to allow unrestricted access. I know that.
Good luck on that one.
Yeah, that may be asking a lot.
Right.
Unless you got a second mortgage, obviously, second home.
Well, yeah, unless you've already secured another property that you have possession of.
But obviously,
right.
not being there is helpful. So that's actually kind of is that requirement? I mean, I know it's good practice and it's an industry standard, but have you ever had a bunch of clients that would just refuse to leave?
Oh, yeah, I've had that.
Okay.
I've had that.
And it can be for
yes.
various reasons. It could be health reasons, like maybe they're immobile, I don't know.
Right, or they just wanted to sit there and like they would just sit in the living room or sit outside. Absolutely, I've had that.
Okay.
And it's fine. It's a good workaround. And to me, I don't mind it because if my home buyers that I'm showing the property to have questions, the homeowner's right there.
Yeah.
I can just say, I can ask the questions that may arise.
Okay, so then
I don't look at it as though it's a disadvantage.
if certain protocols are kept.
Right.
So if you're going to be there, out of sight, out of mind, not in the way, but available.
Right.
And being available meaning be willing to answer questions truthfully and honestly about what may come up.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, I can go with that.
Yep.
All right, we ready for number 7?
Yes. Not being prepared for negotiations. Okay. Why is that a problem?
Well, everybody
Well,
wants full price, right?
right,
Full asking
exactly.
price. Of course they do.
They could be holding out for a better offer.
Yeah, perfect world. you
Yeah.
know.
Exactly.
But usually there's going to have to be some type of negotiation. And so buyers are, humans are funny. Everybody wants to know that they got a deal.
yes.
And so sometimes it's not even the fact that you got a deal, it's the feeling that you got a deal.
Yes.
And so that's all relative.
Yes.
So it's just set the stage for, this is where your emotions can come in. We're not talking about emotions, from the house attachment. We're talking
Right.
about emotions as in feel-good emotions, as in camaraderie, teamwork, rah, rah, let's get this thing done. We're all on the same team here.
That's right.
So let's all play ball, that
Yes.
kind of emotion.
Yes. Exactly.
Because buyers may request certain things like repairs, credits, concessions.
That's right.
And if you're a seller that refuses to negotiate at all on that kind of stuff, guess
Right.
what? You're going to lose the deal. So if the deal's not important to you, be as stubborn as you want to be.
Well,
you're going to be in some trouble.
that's right.
And you could always mean holding out for a better offer. You're totally entitled to that, and it may happen.
Yep.
And it may not happen. It's always a gamble.
That's right.
And again, it goes back to the start of this broadcast. The longer it waits, more of those questions start coming up. Well, what's wrong with the house? Well, it's nothing. The seller just wouldn't budge on the asking price, and nobody wanted to pay because the market analysis showed that it was $20,000 overpriced, and he didn't. They didn't want to come down. Well, I mean, that can be reality.
I know.
Yeah.
But that's not stuff that you can really.
No, but I'm just saying.
Discuss.
No, but that could happen. At the end of the
Sure.
day, yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, no, I get it.
You don't know it going in, but by the time it's all over with, you could be that person. All right,
my
how to
goodness.
let's see. How to avoid it is setting realistic expectations.
Right, exactly. And be prepared for the negotiation. Because buyers always start low. I mean, why not, right? You don't know.
And always counter.
Yes.
Don't reject it. 'Cause don't outright and just go. I'm insulted. Don't go back to that part. So just don't
Right.
flat out reject it. If they come back and you say,
Yeah.
you know what, whoa, how about this? And if you
Right.
come back and maybe it's not much different than your total price, well, that kind of gives a signal of that you're willing to move a little, but not
Right.
much, and they're going to have to come up a lot.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
All right, now we only have one left. Number 8.
No, there's 9.
Is there?
Yeah, there's 9.
Oh, there is 9. I missed
2
it.
more.
Okay.
Ignoring closing costs and fees. Well, I'm not really sure you can ignore them. However,
Yeah, how would you ignore them?
well, when you go to the title company, they're right there. And I know for us here in Oklahoma, we have to provide you with the cost estimate sheet. So it's right there. And you sign off on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So-
Because there's no way on this transaction you would ever not know what party is getting by the time it's all
Right.
said and done. Because everything is spelled out for you, from the taxes to the commission,
Right.
to the fees, whatever it
right.
may be. It's you never walk out of there going, "I wonder what I made off of this deal."
You know.
Yeah, you're gonna. There's no surprises.
Right. So I mean, ours that we provide is only an estimate. The true one is actually right from the title company. So yeah.
And then that's where you work with your agent on the commissions. So
Yes.
you talk about that obviously ahead of time before you even get in this process. So the
Yes.
buyer for the home works with their buyer's agent on the commission, and then the sellers works with their seller agent
Yeah.
on the commissions as well. So it's individualized.
Right. And then the title company, of course, is going to work out all the other costs associated. And also be prepared for last minute expenses.
Yeah, because
Repairs at the buyer's request, depending what happens with the inspection report.
that's the other thing is everything may look good on paper. All of a sudden, inspection happens, or
Right.
something happens right afterwards.
I know.
One of those unforeseen, just bad timing.
When you do a
deals.
walkthrough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that can happen.
Yep.
Okay, last one.
So last one, selling at the wrong time. So timing matters, right? Listing
Oh,
at the wrong time
isn't
can
that
mean
true?
fewer buyers,
Timing matters in everything.
seasonal shifts, of course, and waiting too long in a declining market.
Yeah, that sounds more like the stock market.
Right.
Where you have issues when you're supposed to buy in and sell.
Yeah.
And sometimes you wait too long.
Buy low, sell high.
Yeah,
No.
you have FOMO, fear of missing out. There's all kinds of things. You have emotional attachment. Ugh, it's a financial transaction.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
really
it
is.
is.
So work with your agent to
Yeah.
find out when the best time to sell is. We obviously gave you some hints here at the beginning of this. The best time is we're starting to head into that.
Yeah,
That's
we
always,
are.
As we kickstart the middle of spring, and it goes strong and gets stronger every month into the end of about the end of August.
Yeah,
and then
right
it-
until the kids, a lot of families want to be settled.
And
So,
then
yeah.
if it turns out to be a slow market this
Mm-hmm.
year, if that's the case, just make sure that you're priced very competitively.
Yes.
And that you've done those extra things we talked about to make you stand out.
Absolutely.
Because it doesn't hurt to be priced competitively and go above and beyond
Right.
and then make your home look incredible.
Immaculate.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Both on the inside and out to the curbside.
That's right.
So new, fresh mulch, flowers, green grass. What sounds like basics, it's huge.
Yeah.
And if you have neighbors
Well, your neighbors
that are
can-
punks, and let's say they like their grass a little long, and they don't really want to keep it short so that your home looks better, well, you might have to mow it for them.
Right.
It's one of those deals.
Yeah.
Look, you're trying to sell a home, so you might have to work, with what you got.
Well, you're not only buying the house, you're buying into the neighborhood, right? So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I get it.
Yep. So that was a good list.
It was. Yeah.
So I hope that was helpful for you. And we've talked about this off and on. The funny thing is about real estate is I rib her sometimes. So she watches one of these guys in the morning.
Hi.
Aw, that's Penelope.
Hi. Hi,
On the real
friend.
estate market, right? And he's got to put together a fresh show every day.
Yes.
And I'm like, there is not enough things that happen in real estate to have a show every day. And so there's really not. So it's a lot of repetitive stuff. And I was like, what'd you learn today? He goes, same stuff from yesterday. I was like, could you go a whole week without watching that and still, know what's going on? He goes, yeah, pretty much. So there's not a whole lot of movement in this space. It's a standard, typical space. You're gonna need a nice realtor that's, and this is difficult. I hate to say this, but morals, ethics, integrity, honesty. Believe it or not, because every field, every person, every department is going to have somebody that's not quite up to speed on that deal, not up to that caliber.
Right.
So real estate's not isolated from that. It's humanity, right? And you're gonna find those.
Okay.
So you kind of have to
Right.
vet them. So you're gonna have to do a little, you're gonna have to interview.
Come on.
They're interviewing you. You interview them. And okay.
I know. Little Larry was calling for
So
me.
that's really just gonna help you
Okay, buddy.
seal the deal and to get your home the best. You all right there? What's happening here?
He was
Okay.
calling for me, and then he got caught.
Oh goodness gracious! I'm over
like-
trying to talk about home sales. You're doing doggy daycare. All right.
He's fine.
Okay. Well, he got jealous of this one.
That's right. He
Okay.
did.
So these are Larry and Penelope. If you don't
Oh,
know, these
yeah.
are little Yorkies. 3 pounds, 3.5. I don't know. He might be 4 now or 4.5.
I think he's about 5.
Oh, he's getting big.
The older he gets, the bigger he's getting.
We call him Tank now because he's just built like a tank.
He's a good boy, though.
She's like just super like limber and like just I don't know,
Yeah.
but she's strong. Anyways, so getting a good realtor is really what's going to make or break
Absolutely.
how everything goes. What I'm trying to say.
Interview them.
Yeah. So we're here for you. We'd
Yeah.
love to be your realtors in this regard.
Absolutely.
And we'd love to give you any advice that you would like to have. Reach out anytime. Phone numbers on the website is there as well. TeamTotalRealty.com.
Yeah.
And you can text or call. And Jody
That's right.
has answers for everything. All
I
of it.
do. I do.
You do. For 15 years.
Well, I've been in it long
You
enough.
best.
I know it inside and out.
And on some of the stuff that I don't know, I just go to the pro over here and go, hey, what would you
Right.
do here? What would you do in this case? Because there's
That's
always
right.
something different or new in real estate. That's the funny
Well,
thing
you're
is,
always learning something.
yeah, it's never the same thing twice. It's almost like a snowflake.
That's right.
There's always some little variation, some little difference in a transaction. There's something because it's people. It's very fluid, and there's so many moving parts. Banks, lenders,
Appraisals.
appraisals,
Home inspections.
home inspection,
Termite
title
inspe-
companies,
inspections.
Yeah, termite. All of a sudden, termites could be a problem. So
Right.
there's so many things that can pop up last minute or go wrong or change that's out of people's control. And as a realtor, you got to move quick.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it's not it's so funny. It is not something like where you go, okay, here, sign this piece of paper, and you sign this piece of paper. Okay, it's all
Well, it's
over.
a legal document.
It's all done.
So-
But no, it's the work involved is painstakingly sometimes difficult and time consuming. And then if things don't go well, the amount of things you have to do and drop, just to get stuff to happen. Because remember, everybody's trying to make a deal happen.
That's right.
And it's very stressful. And there's timelines, there's deadlines. So yeah,
Stressful
realtors.
for us. Can you imagine being the buyers and the sellers?
I know. That's what I'm saying for everybody.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. It's
Yeah.
it's like all across the board.
Yeah.
So anyway, like I said, just reach out anytime. We'd love to help you out in this.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now's the time. It's spring.
I know.
Let's get selling.
Yeah.
You have a home to sell? Call us.
That's right.
I'll list it.
That's right. Oh, and I'll put this up here again real quick. if you do go to Team Total Realty, which you should.
Yeah, we have a great website.
So you can type in anything you want on that site to kind of look at some homes, kind of get an idea of what you're looking for in your area, or what even prices are selling for. If you're curious, like maybe what would be my home, what would it be worth?
Right.
So it'll give you the market analysis for that.
It will.
And then we have on our resources, we have our preferred partners and our trusted service providers. And you can go down each of these categories. And what we did was basically we vetted, because I know a lot of people, right? And I wanted to get someone in each of these that I felt comfortable with, that was legit, that we would trust with our own finances or our own situation.
That's right.
Or that we've even done business with already.
That's
and
right.
so we put them on our site. So we have American Mortgage Bank,
Yeah.
Home Inspections, Win Home Inspections, Home and Auto Insurance, 405 Insurance Advisors. They saved me a ton of money back when my home went up, and that was a whole mess back in the day.
That's right.
Title Company, Legacy.
Roofing.
Roofing, Ferguson Roof Systems. They sponsored this broadcast. I've been with Jamie for years. They were awesome. They did
Yep.
our roof here from our last hailstorm
Yep.
the other day. I learned a lot about that when he was
Oh,
here.
me too.
We were outside talking to him the whole day. So
Yeah.
6 hours, asking him every question under the sun, and he explained the whole process as we're
Yes.
watching it happen. He told us the ins and outs of the whole roofing industry, from the crews
Oh, it was great.
that work together to what happens when you lay roof during the middle of winter, which is a no-no.
Right. Well,
And it was just
yes.
like, what? So there's all these little things I did not know about. And I was like, whoa. So that was very impressive. But
well,
he's,
especially for me, because coming from
Oh, yeah.
the Canadian market, I mean, we would never put a roof down in the winter anyways.
No.
It's sort of all ceases, but
yep.
it was good to go through that whole process being out
Sure.
here.
So solar
So-
energy, solar power, HVAC, Home
HVAC.
Comfort Solutions. They replaced our heat and air unit.
Yeah, they did.
It was damaged and it was so so old. They couldn't find no parts for it no more. So they
No.
said, oh, that stinks. I could get a new unit. That's terrible. So we got a new unit on that one. Landscaping, Embrace the Landscape, Lawn Care, Willis.
They do a great job on our lawn.
Yeah,
Willis
and
Lawn Care.
I like how they
Yeah.
text us, they come by, they tell us it's going to be ahead of time.
Yeah.
They put down their pre-emergent when they're supposed to.
Yeah.
We hardly have any weeds at all.
I know.
Ever since they started. I mean,
Yes.
rarely do we get them. And of course, the problem is you can never prevent them all because you have your neighbors, right? And they'll always, something
Right.
will seed briefly, but they always are right on top of it, so it gets rid of it. But yeah, lawn looks good.
Security
Pest control,
system, yeah.
pest control, preventive pest, and then cat security.
And plumbing.
And Epic Plumbing. So, Matt came out and he gave us a good install on a soft water
Soft water system.
system. So our hard water was a little too
Oh.
much. She didn't like it for her hair. I guess I got so used to it, it didn't bother me. But then now that we have it,
Now
I was
you like it.
Oh, I do like this. So
Yes.
big difference.
And then you did an ozone.
Yeah.
Ozone?
Robert Baxter Electric and Hard Water Solutions. We could have used them, and you know what? I thought about it, but then I went on. Of course, an attorney. By the way, if you need anything or you find yourself in a pickle, my buddy Brady Bruce.
Yeah.
He was a meteorologist like myself back in the day. He actually worked at Channel 9 here in town, and then he ended up running and building a KSBI for a while. And then he got out of the TV business, and he always wanted to get his law degree. So went back to school and got his law degree. And
for him.
yeah, good for him, man. He's a smart guy. And so he'll help you out in anything like that. Anything from generic stuff that you need done to wills and real estate. Matter of fact, his own degree helped him in his transaction.
Yes.
He had a bad dealing with a realtor, and he had to, unfortunately, deal with a realtor going rogue. And he says, "I don't think you realize that I'm an attorney. I know what the real estate law is here in Oklahoma." And so that didn't go very well for the realtor.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. You got to be really careful, in those transactions. Of who
Well, you
you're
have to
dealing
be
with.
ethical.
You do. Well, not everybody's going to be ethical.
No, that's true.
But if you've run into some problems, he can definitely get you out of that situation.
Yes.
If that comes up. But yeah, to your point, we did get because we learned about microplastics is now in everything. That's a new buzzword. Every so often you can hear a buzzword that makes all the news and it's all over social media. Microplastics right now is the big thing. Is how they're finding out it's in everything and it's in all of our body parts. It's in our brain.
Yep.
Apparently, it's bad for us. Nobody knows how bad or why. Research is underway. So the question is, how do you eliminate it? Well, part of it was like the drinking water. Plus, the drinking water never tastes that good anyway, so most of us have it filtered. And then we got onto this deal of reverse osmosis,
Yeah.
triple UV filter,
That's
this,
great.
that, and the other. And yeah,
It's like drinking spring water
it comes
from
out
the
yeah.
glaciers,
Okay.
glacier mountains.
It's not quite that good, but it is way
In my
better.
mind, it's that good.
It's okay. We went to Canada. We went to Banff.
Yeah.
I went to Jasper.
Yeah.
I had real glacier water
Oh, I know.
from a toilet, basically. It was the best water you will ever have.
Yeah, that glacier water.
I would drink out of a
amazing.
toilet up there any day. That's a slight exaggeration, but yeah,
Right.
when we first got into the first place we stayed, a lodge, they didn't have any water, anything. They had these 2 cups sitting on the bathroom sink, and I'm like, "What's this?" They're like, well, we're gonna save the environment. I'm like, save the environment? I'm drinking your garbage water. But I was thirsty. We didn't have any, so
Right.
I put a cup in there and I did the whole, I'll take a little sip. And when I
Oh.
said, I was like, what?
Right.
I was
we
like,
couldn't
you gotta-
stop drinking.
No, I was
it.
like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm taking this home with me. How do I take this whole water home?
Right.
So yeah,
I
it
know.
was so good.
It was
so that's,
amazing.
That's what Glacier Pure Water is. That was
Yeah.
amazing. So yeah, ours is not that quite good, but it's up there. So yeah, if you do get a
good.
chance, do try to get one of those. And
Yeah.
hey, and guess what? It's probably a good selling feature for the home.
Right.
Both of those things.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
okay,
Good.
That's it for us. We're gonna get out of here. But
Yeah.
thanks again for tuning in on this episode,
Yeah,
and we look
thanks.
forward to seeing you on the next one. We do this about once a month.
Call me.
Yeah. Yeah. Color. So no, we'd love to help you. And I do go out there, by the way. I do help out with the real estate transactions, although sometimes she gives me a hard time. Depends on how busy I am. In the springtime, obviously, if I'm dealing with tornadoes and stuff, I'm a little less free time. But otherwise, I do try to help her out as much as possible because we are Team Tuttle, even though you do most of the legwork. It's okay. You can speak.
That's right. You come to the open houses and closing.
All right. That's it.
All right. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you on the next broadcast.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.